What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with some more Trails into Reverie. Last time, we took care of most of the rest of the 7th Stratum, and we also did some trial doors while we were at it. So now we're getting ready to finish off the 7th Stratum with whatever boss awaits us. But I did want to check something real quick. I want to see if there's new gear. So, no, it doesn't seem that way. For the most part, it looks like the same stuff. I do wonder if you have to find it to be able to purchase it here, though. No, it looks like most can. Well, let's see. Yeah, it looks like pretty much you just need to be at a certain floor and you can purchase it here. Speaking of... money. Alright, let's head back to the end of the 7th Stratum and see what awaits us. Pretty much what we're going to do here in this video is we'll finish off the boss here and see what cutscenes we get. And then after that, most likely, we're probably going to go do, depending on how much time this takes, we'll go and do that Ash-related daydream. So let's go ahead and hop into it. Oh, she's back. She's back. She really does look like Kia. I knew you wouldn't heed my warning, but you will go not one step farther. Try as you might, you will never overcome Casuality's defense mechanism. The what now? What are you talking about? Just who is this girl? Oh no! 3 Gralsritter. Oh boy. And they have damned Gralsritter. Really? It's 3 of the church's dominions. Yeah, I'm sure you're happy about that. It's me, Gaius, and Father Thomas. They look like they're wielding more of their stigma power than our bodies are meant to handle, too. Oh, that's even better! Then she really is replacing the Corridor's usual guardians with new ones. Well, whatever trials you throw at us, we'll overcome them all the same. And when we do, you're in for a whole lot of questions. I thought you didn't care about what goes on here, McBurn. Your efforts are as futile as my very existence. Destiny cannot be changed. So it seems like she's opposing Casuality being changed. Like we've been doing. But we're fighting Thomas! This is the first time we've seen Thomas in combat. And he holds a cube in his hand when he fights. Alright. Okay, Thomas is the tanky one here. Alright. I really want to see if Thomas has an S-Craft, to be totally honest. Come on, S-Craft me. though. That's just a reflect.
Mine.
Come on. Come on. I'm not gonna fight you seriously until you S-craft me. You gotta have something, right? Okay, let's see it. Cathedral Arc. Why'd they give him such an insane S-craft for him not to be playable? Okay, maybe I kind of regret letting Reen go down because of that, but I really did just want to see. Who do we have? Alright, let me get Reen back up. Alright, now we can take him seriously. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, perfect. What does Ceiling Star do? Oh, can we just not use Reen? Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be a thing where Reen is like disappeared for a moment. Ew. So Silver Ceiling Stone Plus is the highest one. We did it. Please, it would take more than a few sham stigmas to beat us. It was fun enough. But it'll take a lot more than that to give me a hard time. Yes, McBurn, you're very powerful. Seems like you underestimated our strength. How did you do it? Now that's a silly question. I may not be one to talk, but these guys here seem to do the impossible when they work together. He believes in us! How sweet. It's like nothing can stop him. Just like when we beat Elysium. So long as I'm not fighting alone, I'll never give up. No matter how many of your minions you send our way. Perhaps you do have what it takes to succeed. But? Just who are you? What are you getting in our way for, anyway? What are you after? You seem to believe I was behind replacing the Guardians the last few strata, but I was not. What? Then who did? The logical assumption, judging by her words, is that the defense mechanism she mentioned is the source. Attempt to discover means of interference successful. The girl is not directly responsible. confirming that the culpability for this event lies elsewhere. I am nothing but a shadow. A shadow watching over a world that has long since stopped moving. What does that mean? A shadow watching over a world. What world? I fear is too difficult to explain in human tongues. Huh? What's that? Something's eating away at the corridor. But that's... Observing new casualty space. New casualty space has made contact with current casualty space, resulting in mutual interference. I have identified this to be the source behind the irregularity. Current status of both sides at present is balanced. So something is happening on the other side. Something that's in the process of taking shape. This isn't going to be good for us. Did you come from the other side of that tear, then? I am the first OZ. OZXX. Oh! So, she has the form of Kia, but she's the original OZ unit. I guess made by the gnomes. I mean, we know... But XX, wouldn't that be 20? Because we know that Milliam is 73 and Altina is 74. What does that mean? I see that you may have the power to resolve the battle against destiny. But I would still advise that you go no farther, not unless you're prepared to risk accelerating your doom. So please, stop following me. This took quite an unexpected turn. I'm struggling to process all of this. Don't think we're going to decide much of anything by standing around here. We should head back to base and let the others know what's going on. Yeah, we're going to need everyone's input on what we should do next. Yeah, some of these lines feel like they're definitely meant for McBurn, but others just feel like they're generic lines that whoever is placed in that specific part of your party will have that line. Like that line right there, we should head back to base and let everyone know what was going on. I feel like it wouldn't matter who you had with you. They would have said that. What the leading party witnessed at the end of the 7th stratum was beyond their wildest imaginations. While plenty of questions still remain, they did finally find some answers. They decided to return to the garden to discuss what they had learned with the others. At least we're finally getting somewhere. She bears a striking resemblance to Kia. Now we know who she is. The first OZ. OZXX. I never even considered that there once had to be a first of us. That isn't something you should beat yourself up over, Allie. She's right, and the last thing any of us expected was to see a new OZ after the Twilight was put to rest. No wonder we were having that gut feeling that something was wrong. Yeah, something about her felt so familiar, or perhaps it was an innate affinity. It was like I could feel at ease around her even though we had never met before. That's understandable. I expected her to have a strong connection to Kia, but I wasn't expecting this twist. Yeah, it just means there was a lot more to it than we were suspecting. The OZ girls are all homunculi that came from the workshop, just like the little bunny, yeah? Correct. I don't suppose you know the meaning of her title being titled XX, do you? I would guess it's to indicate she wasn't assigned a number to begin with. She's likely a prototype that I'm glad we got George before doing this. She was a prototype created even before the OZ that was given the number 1. Okay. So it's not XX meaning like 20. If that's the case, I wonder if it means she differed from the others in some way. Did something occur to you, Alisa? I might have an idea, but it's just a theory. We came across records dating back to over 500 years ago when we investigated the Black Workshop after the war. Some of them did relate to the initial conception of the OZ series. We learned the homunculi technology used as a basis to forge the sword didn't originally belong to the gnomes. They stole that technology from the alchemists of Crossbell instead. In other words, it belonged to the Croix family of the Middle Ages. Alberich said as much at the bottom of the Graal of Erebos. Guess it was true. Yeah, now we have the evidence. The Croix family stole from them in turn as well. The cradle they designed was originally based on gnome technology. That thing Keto was sleeping in for 500 years. Well, it all lines up now. So the two sides consistently stole each other's technology to improve their own capabilities over the years. I believe so. I heard Alberich and Maribel banter about as much right in front of me. Oh, right at the beginning of Cold Steel 4. That's just like Bell. It must have been surreal. We've only heard secondhand stories about those two, but I don't envy you being caught in the middle of that exchange. I think I understand why Alisa brought it up, though. If you put all this together... Exactly, you must have come to the same conclusion I did. It's only logical that the gnome's first attempt to create a homunculus designed to be the sword of the end would be a copy of the homunculus the alchemists had already designed. Well, now it all lines up. I think that's a safe assumption. It explains why she and I look so much alike. Elysium managed to find someone that was lost to history over 500 years ago, and then recreated her as if she was here all along. That's how OZXX came to be. It's almost unthinkable. Almost. It's impossible to deny what Elysium is capable of after what we've seen. I agree, and the logic does check out. So what's happening here continues to connect us in more ways than we realize. That's another question potentially answered, but others still remain. Why is she inside the Reverie corridor? What is she trying to achieve? Those are excellent questions. Knowing she was created by Elysium isn't nearly as important as knowing to what end. Every decision Elysium makes is in its own best interest, so she must have some purpose. Though she didn't seem to be actively trying to achieve anything at all just yet. Even if the reason for her existence isn't apparent yet, I'm sure she still has one. We essentially cheated our way to victory over Elysium by using this world to become stronger than it could predict. On the other hand, Elysium became... What was that? There was like a giant glow right there. Elysium became aware of what was happening and was certainly devising a solution to stop us. It would be something if allowed to reach that its conclusion, would enable Elysium to recreate the world like we originally prevented. It's difficult to wrap my head around, but we're dealing with something even more dangerous than we originally thought. If your theory is correct, then the seeds Elysium planted when it began tampering are only now just beginning to bloom. I'm guessing that other space at the end of the 7th stratum factors into this somehow. Anything you want to share with us, Azoth? A logical model based on the previously observed data is currently being constructed. However, it can be surmised that an impossible causality is being constructed beyond the depths. I am only meant to observe Erebonia. My information on other regions is less reliable. Though it would be logical to assume the phenomenon occurring is derived from events in the Crossbell region. I do find it funny that the characters we've pulled for are not in this, like, group right here. Like, obviously you don't see... Even though George had some lines, you don't see him standing there, you don't see McBurn, you don't see Roselia. It's just the main cast right here. Whatever's there is based on Crossbell. I'm not sure what to make of that. Yet it's supposedly a causality that would otherwise be impossible. Let's remember where we are. This is a space capable of influencing causality to begin with. I'm going to take a wild guess that whatever's out there is specifically why Elysium made a copy of OZXX. It couldn't be. Wait, what did they figure out? Whatever's there. What, the Azure Tree? Take note, attempting to investigate the matter any further is heavily unadvised. What? And why is that? The threat posed by the other space has now decreased. OZ's return to the other side has slowed its encroachment into the Reverie corridor's depths. Relevant counter protocols have also been updated based on newly acquired data. Equilibrium has been relatively distorted. Encroachment continues at a heavily reduced pace. However, interference from this side may jeopardize matters. Current models indicate harm to the real world will be kept to a minimum as long as current status quo continues. Anyone want to summarize that for the rest of us? It's saying the real world isn't in much danger right now, but we could do more harm than good if we kept going. It's not exactly a satisfying answer. The real problem hasn't truly been dealt with. All it means is that there's a semblance of balance so long as OZXX is on the other side. Correct. Meaning our further interference threatens to upset the balance once again. Affirmative. OZXX also stated the possibility of exasperating the situation persists. So now what, you want us to just let sleeping dogs lie and go home? Screw that, we didn't get dragged back around just to wuss out now. Let's calm down and consider our options. We can't just ignore that walking away now has practically no downsides, even if it does mean abandoning our mission. Meanwhile, pressing on has considerable risks, but that doesn't mean they aren't worth taking. I'm not a fan of doing a half-assed job. I want to go after her. You do? Even after everything we were just told? I know. I understand how risky it would be. Objectively, maybe it's best not to risk upsetting the balance she created for us. I'm concerned the encroachment hasn't stopped, even if it's been slow to become manageable. But more than anything, I can't abandon her, not after learning the connection Milliam and I share with her. She was born over 500 years ago, only to be quickly forgotten and discarded by the few who knew of her to begin with. Now she's been recreated here only to be compelled to spend eternity in isolation for our sakes. She's never had the chance to know happiness and is now convinced herself that it's out of reach, pushing us away. Yeah, you could tell she was sad. I realize I'm being selfish by going after her, especially given the risks involved. But I won't turn my back on someone being forced to put on a brave face as they're heartbroken deep down. Not after everything I've been through myself, I simply can't. Altina. Aw, Tilly. That's exactly how I feel. I could have just as easily ended up in the same position as her if things had gone even a little differently. Maybe I would have even ended up like her and not learned what it's like to truly smile. I was able to learn just how happy a place the world can be after Lloyd found me. And that's what I want her to learn too. Kia. You already know where I stand on this. I'm not going to overlook a problem that Elysium was responsible for. Besides, I want to become strong enough to extend a helping hand to others when they need it. Just like someone once did for me. You're so cute, LP. Do you now? Part of me thinks it's foolish to willingly charge into danger, but I hear you. If that's what you want to do, then you have all our support. You don't even have to ask. We're the SSS. We'd be doing a piss-poor job if we didn't help a little girl in need. You're not the only ones with job titles to live up to. Team Bracer isn't going to sit this one out. And you have our word that we'll fight with every fiber of our beings too. We'll get through any hardship waiting for us. That's the Class 7 way. That's right. Nail on the head. What's one more challenge that we must rise to the occasion for? Let's do this, everyone. If Allie and Milliam want our help, we'll be right there to give it. I don't know what to say. Your arguments are resoundingly illogical, but I lack the authority to oppose them. It is impossible to predict exactly where your decision will lead you. Nevertheless, all systems will be kept open for your disposal. I shall anticipate your success. Thank you. You better be expecting it because that's exactly what we're going to deliver. The unknown realm extending beyond the 7th stratum shall tentatively be called the 0th stratum. Ah, like the 0th night. OZXX's movement record confirms an access route, but further data on the 0th stratum is unavailable. All visitors are advised to exercise caution when proceeding. We'll be careful. Thanks for the help. If we're gonna do this, then let's take the time to make sure we're fully prepared for the ordeals ahead. Good thinking. Let's set off to finally learn the whole truth as soon as we're ready. Well. That was quite a lot, and we have more dialogue to have with people around here. Not a ton, but a little bit. 938. Wait, you can get a fifth. Oh, you get a 5th assault gauge if you can save up the points. That's kind of crazy. Oh, you know what? This is actually... Okay, so you get more stuff for these. Okay, that's worth it. So when you do the trial doors and stuff. That's actually great. Oh, more rewards. Reach rank S. Cool. Alright, well, we'll talk to everyone, we'll use the tree, and that'll be it for this time. And then next time, we're gonna do that, Ash Carbide, story. Elysium, the Great Twilight, the Azure Tree, and that OZXS are all deeply intertwined in the end. It's almost unthinkable. The thought of it alone feels foreboding to ponder. What else is there that we have yet to even fathom? Nevertheless, we've survived thus far. There's nothing else we can do but push forward and see where the future takes us. Everything will be okay. If we can defy Elysium's predictions, then there really is nothing we can't handle. So that girl was the first of them, the first homunculus artificially created in the hopes of forging the sword of the end. I can't help but think of Altina and Millium now that we know. I won't allow one of their sisters to be used like this. I'm ready to face whatever trials await further inside. I'll meet them head-on with my comrades from Class 7. Things are finally getting interesting around here with all this talk about some other space living out there. Hell, if I know that, if I know what? Oh, hell if I know what, but there is some kind of source behind all these anomalies, right? Just like with that little shadowy brat. What are we waiting for? Let's get out there and finish the job, especially so little Bunny and her sister get closure. Look how much you've changed. There are many things I still don't really understand about OZXX. But seeing all those emotions she's concealing, it's not something I can pretend to ignore. Not with the way I am now. I realize it may be a lot to ask, but please, we have to help her. Especially so I can remain the final OZ unit for good. Absolutely, we've done it before, we'll do it again. We'll put an end to all of this, for real this time. Right. The 0th stratum. Seeing it with the number 0 kind of feels weird. Instead of just with like spelling out 0 like they did in the cutscene. Also, I know it's probably kind of weird like that none of this stuff in the post game has really been voiced, but I think mainly the reason for that is, I mean, I don't know if it might be, if you play in English it might be voiced, but I think the reasoning for it not being voiced here is because they probably made this, like obviously this is post-game content, so it wasn't made when they did their initial recording sessions for Trails into Reverie. So I'm guessing when they made it, I mean there might be some voice stuff at the very end, but I'm gonna guess that's why they probably didn't get the voice actors back together to voice a whole bunch of stuff. Except for maybe, like, whatever final scene we'll get for this. If that girl really is an OZ, then it concerns us even more than we thought. No arguing with that. We've known William and Altina for what's essentially their whole lives. There's a lot to unpack, but there's one thing I've learned for sure from getting to know those two. It doesn't matter how they were born. Agreed, though I'm not sure if we have any right to say that. What I am sure of is that Milliam is a genuinely kind, pure girl, and Altina's maturity and growth for age is a blessing. They're living proof that every life is precious, no matter how it came into this world. Guess we got a responsibility to support them the best we can. Same goes for the SSS kiddo, too. I'm glad they're back on our side. OZXX. I didn't expect for us to encounter a name like that here. So I guess that'd make her like a super older sister to me and Tilly. Though there shouldn't be any OZ left after us, so it must mean she's a reproduction. She also had such a sad look on her face when she left. I know what you're thinking, and I agree. We can't simply leave her like that, even more so if we want to solve this mystery. We'll head to the very depths of this place if that's what it'll take, no matter what. Yeah, you got it. George. It's difficult to say with any certainty what that OZ girl truly is. One thing I can say for sure, however, is that this is something I can't afford to ignore. Whatever the truth turns out to be, I intend to fully confront it. Think of it as my atonement as a former gnome. No one else up here. That being we encountered shouldn't even exist, should it? I can't help but be reminded when we encountered Schmelgarine inside the tower. Alicia may have been more involved than we had imagined. We're probably gonna have to confront that OZXX girl if we want the details. Right, we can't just leave her be like this. This isn't just about finishing what we started. We gotta do it because it's the right thing. Whoa, LP. When did we become like the rest of these goody two-shoes? I'm with her. We've come this far, so we may as well finish it the right way. Well, if we know what needs to be done, then nothing more need be said. I'll lend my blade to fight to the best of my ability, even if I am nothing more than a nameless drifter now. It's not entirely wrong. The Black Workshop and Croy's family stole technology from one each other for ages. Evidently, that whole tug-of-war led to the creation of that girl. If that bad blood is what's behind all of this, then as Franz Reinford's daughter, I have an obligation to deal with it. You can be sure I'll give this problem every ounce of strength I have, for his sake as much as anyone else's. Glad to hear it. I'm sure Reen might have something to say, possibly. He's probably gonna be down with Class 7. New Class 7, rather. Yep.
Yeah.
In a sense, you could say OZXX was the first sacrifice made to bring about the Great Twilight. As a former sacrifice myself, this is a matter close to my heart. We gotta find her and set her free. It's the least we can do. Thanks to everyone's help, my mind is now once again clear. Now is the time for me to act with conviction. Glad to hear it. I never would have guessed that that little girl's history would be entangled with Crossbell and Erebonia's pasts. That just means it involves all of us too, especially Allie, Milliam, and Kia. We'll find a way to help her. I just know it. That's what we do. Oh, there's more. What, because now I'm somebody else? Okay. So that little kiddo is OZXX, huh? Now we really gotta do something. Eidos only knows what's going through her head. We've got to be ready to deal with anything. No telling what's waiting for us at the end of this. We just gotta hit it with all we got like we always do. I did not expect what was unfolding here to again be tied with the Zero Child and Sword of the End. I'm certain that unimaginable hardship lies ahead for refusing to accept things as they are. However, it is a little too late to turn away, myself included. Kia on her computer. I can't imagine what that OZXS, I can't imagine what the OZXS that was replicated has been through. I get the sense there's still more for us to uncover. Whatever the truth is, we'll have to find it for ourselves and accept it when the time comes. She's waiting in the deepest part of the Zero Stratum. I'll use the Aeon system to help us get there.
Yeah,
a Zero Stratum that shouldn't even exist. It feels like there's something more at work here. That girl who looks like Kia is all alone, shut off from everything. Of course we can't overlook what's happening here. Let's do everything in our power to discover the truth. Alright, now, let me do this. I think there was another little girl made like Kia centuries ago. If only Belle were here, maybe we could pry some useful information out of her. Regardless, we couldn't have a better reason for pushing forward. Let's do everything in our power until the very end. The SSS can't overlook what's happening here any longer. A laptop? Oh yeah, I'm looking into something. I was looking for a way to help, so I spoke to Azoth and came up with an idea. I don't know if it'll work or not, but there's only one way to find out. That girl's a copy of me that was made after I had been conceived in the cradle. If that's the case, she shouldn't be different from me, which means we have to hurry and find her, please. I don't know what's going to happen, but I want to be there for her. Of course, all of us will be there. We'll be sure to come get you once we reach the end of the corridor. We're going to get through whatever happens next together, I promise you. Alright, well, that is going to be it. So, next time, we're going to go ahead and do the Ash Daydream, like I mentioned. I believe after this Ash one, there's only technically four other ones. I think there's like one more Daydream for us to find in this like final Sanctum. And then once we clear all of this rest of the story, there's going to be one final Daydream that's split into 3 parts. So we'll have that'll be like the end of our playthrough when we watch those last 3. But yeah, so next time we'll go ahead and do Thor's Open House, and then we'll move on to the final, the 0th Stratum after that. So look forward to that. So that's gonna be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe more if you're new to the channel. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.